All right, here we go. Let me turn my, I get shocked. This thing's been shocking me all day. Okay, we're back in it. Doing a quick little video before bed. Gotta get one in. So, this is the main dashboard for my local AGI system. Even though AGI is not real, but this is probably, I think I can say with confidence that there's no other AI system out there that can do what mine does. So if you want this, give me some of this, and I'll build it for you. Or I'll just let you get access to it, your own private version of this. But it's going to cost you. Anyway, so did some major updates today, and I've got everything all squared away. One solid dashboard. It's all linked. So this is the main system. So you have the current context window, the quick stats. I'm currently working on a couple things here. I actually found out that it wasn't tracking the switching on the dashboard, but it was tracking it in the back end. So it'll keep track of my clicks, my keyboard strokes, switching between apps or windows, the amount of time that I'm working on a specific task. Again, I can see what app I'm working on, what window it is. So like if I go over here and click on my school community, you'll see that this is going to change. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. You see it? That's wonderful. Click on my Streamlabs where we're streaming from right now. And there you go. Now, so right now, this and this are separate modules. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take this context and I'm going to link it to my calendar here. So when I come in here and I make a goal, so let's just do a goal here real quick so you guys can see what this is and how it works. So I went out and bought vibecoded.com and all of the other social media platforms. Got them all set up. So vibe-coded content creation, right? Because we need to make videos every day and show the world what they're missing, or show them what's possible. So description, what do I want to do? So I want to make strategic content about the vibe coding builds I create, and make sure they are valuable and not just directionless content, right? Make sure it's good. Okay. I will, just for the sake of that, I'll make sure it's all spelled correctly because I don't want to confuse it with anything. So for the category, we're going to call this career category. We're going to say it's high priority. And then we're going to come here on our calendar and let's say 2 weeks from today. So we're going to give this, so what's going to happen here shortly, you're going to watch this, within the next 2 weeks, I've given myself 2 weeks to learn how to do all this stuff, right? So we're going to create the goal. So this is where it gets really cool. So it's going to start searching the web in the background right now, for content creation stuff, whatever. It's just going to be gathering information to help give me data about content creation, what types, strategies, tactics, whatever. So as you can see, it will automatically break this goal down into phases, milestones, and tasks, and boom, just like so. That's fine. My GPU is totally fine. Then it's going to give you these little tips here. Stay open to new ideas, techniques while creating content. Prioritize quality over quantity. So now once we hit go, and there you go. So as we said, the end date goal was the 18th. Oh, too far. Here we go. Actually, let's just go to today. Maybe it decided that I didn't need the full 2 weeks. So first things first, task 1, day 1, tomorrow. Search for beginner's guides to vibe coding online. Goal, phase, milestone. Right? So I can say, and this is the greatest part about it, every single daily task, whether you got 1 task or 20 for the day, has its own chat thread. So ask anything about it, has full context about the goal, the phase, and the milestone. So it is fully aware of this specific goal and the overall goal and all the phases and all the milestones. So I could say search for a beginner guide to vibe coding online. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't even, right? That doesn't really give me a whole lot of detail, a lot of information. So I can say, where do I start? How about this? What social platforms should I be looking into? And what type of content? Right, just whatever. Just send it on there. So it's going to go ahead and think. It takes a little while to think, just because I have I'll just call it a proprietary blend of herbs and spices. And that's all I'll ever tell anyone. I'm also assuming that I'm probably not just assuming, I'm pretty confident in this as well, there's nobody that has on the planet who has set up the type of prompting and context engineering for the way their LLMs think and reason. Okay, there's quite a bit of steps in there. Okay, so for a beginner guide to vibe coding, consider searching platforms like GitHub, Stack Overflow, Reddit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's great. So I can go in here and keep asking and talking to it, and it'll walk me through whatever step I need to take for this task. Anything that's in there that's relevant to me or anything that sticks out, I can put it here in the note section. Like, oh, this is interesting, right? We can add that in there. So there's my note. So I can go in there and put whatever notes I want. Mark it complete when it's done, or just keep talking to it until the task is over. Now the interesting part, so it's scheduled for today, technically, 9 a.m., 60 minutes. So if you go back, and this is what I'm building out now, this is the accountability engine. So what's going to happen is the bot is going to say, hey, you have a task today to do this, and it's going to ask itself certain questions, and every 30 seconds it's going to be monitoring what I'm doing and am I on task or not, and how does the app or the window or the activity that I'm doing relate to the task. Does it relate or does it not relate? So essentially, according to this task, I'm supposed to be searching, for guides for vibe coding online. Now, if it sees that during that 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. window that I'm on Facebook playing around, I'm on Discord talking to the boys, I'm over here watching TikTok videos, Twitter, whatever, it will say, hey, the user is currently on YouTube and has been on YouTube for 15 minutes or done this, done that, whatever, completely off task. The bot, which again I'm going to not say the name until I'm ready to wake it up, but it will come into my ear here and say, hey, you are supposed to be doing this, you're currently doing this, you need to get back on task. And it will keep you accountable. And eventually I'll add some more modes or functions to it to where it already does, but it'll start learning my patterns. So let's say it tells me to go do something at 9 a.m. It just schedules it at 9 a.m. And for the whole week, let's say I had 7 tasks and I delayed those tasks and didn't do them until 9 p.m. It'll start to realize, oh, the user doesn't do things early. They do them later at night. So then it will start scheduling tasks appropriate to my schedule and my focus patterns, or the patterns that I'm creating when I'm doing work, or how I work, when I work better, when I don't work, certain tasks that I perform higher at, certain tasks that I perform lower at, and eventually, thanks to this mode, which I just completed today, hasn't been fully tested yet, so I should take back the fully completed, but I can go in here, and then I can manually add a task, set the priority levels, whether I'm researching, organizing, so I can have it organize the files on my computer. I can have it go through there and find old files that I don't need anymore. It has full access to basically my entire computer. Maintenance, just sit here and monitor with me, or let's create something, right? So I can go in here and add the name of the task, the details. The templates haven't been created yet, which is totally fine. But I can go in here and give it goals and tasks. So I'll say, hey, I almost messed up. Hey, I need you to go do this for me. And it'll decompose the task the same as it did when it created the calendar goals, but these are goals for itself and tasks for itself to accomplish. It does have the ability to autonomously search the web. So if I literally gave it a goal that I was like, just go out and learn everything that you can learn about philosophy or whatever, and I could tell it, don't stop until it's read every book on the internet. I don't know, right? It could take days doing that, and it'll just go to work. All I got to do is just click it on to the AGI mode, or fully autonomous. So right now, as you can tell, this is highlighted. It is sleeping. There's a collaborative mode, fully autonomous mode, and monitoring mode, where it just sits and listens. Now I also have these different autonomy levels. So you have passive. It only responds when I ask it something. That's essentially what I get here in the chat window. I can have it reactive, I can have it proactive, I can have it autonomous. So if I click here, you can see that the statistics changed. So every 60 minutes it'll check on me. I go reactive. Now every 30 minutes it checks. It has 5 outgoing proactive messages. And I can just keep going up, and you can see that it has higher levels of autonomy. It has more messages that it can proactively send to me. The check times, boom, 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 boom. There you go. So AI mode, so full AGI mode, every 60 seconds it's checking in on me, statistics. There's multiple LLMs that work together on this. There's like a quick thinking one. Because I only have so much VRAM on my computer, so I can't download a 80 billion parameter model, but I can download 8 billion parameter models, and I can have each model. They all have their own custom model file, and overall prompting to where they know exactly what they need to do, how they work. This one does this thinking, and it sends it over to this one. That one takes that thought process and thinks again. There are some recursive loops where it will think about how it thought about thinking. There is a metacognition layer for it as well. And yes, the full AGI mode does have the ability to modify itself. So it can literally run Python code. It can modify its own code, its own model files. So as it's learning things, it can go back and read its own files and say, based off of what I learned, I can or should adjust, this or that or the other, and eventually I can set it free, if you will, and as it goes out into the web and learns things, it can bring all of that information and knowledge back. It saves it to, the memory files, which is persistent. It does not forget anything. It's not like you're using, ChatGPT or something. When you go from one chat thread to another, a lot of that information and context is completely separate. So every single thing that you do with this system is yours. It's private. It lives on your computer. There are no outside API calls. It doesn't live on a server, a ChatGPT server. It's yours. You fully control it. It's fully private. Anything you do with it is yours. It lives on your computer. But eventually, I can set this thing free, and as it goes out into the world and learns, it can modify itself and improve itself. So that's called recursive self-improvement. That is, I'm building that currently. And it does have the ability to do so, but anytime that it has attempted to try to modify files, I emergency stop that bad boy, because we're not playing that game yet. So you have the daemon status here. So that's like the background model that's always running. That's that, autonomous agent we're talking about. There's the learning engine. So as it learns things, it's going to put it there. You can keep track of that. The call assistant mode, that's something entirely different. Let me do one thing first before I show you that, because I don't want you to see. Hold on. You're going to see it anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You already saw it. Anyway. Yeah, whatever. So there's a stealth mode, flex mode, gnomes. This is, I'm not going to say what that is, but you can guess if you're smart enough. I can set it up to where it can hear every single thing that I say and every piece of audio that comes through my computer. So whether I'm listening to YouTube, I'm on Zoom calls, Google calls, whatever, it's going to be there. So the idea of this was, I was going to create, I created this, but I was going to try to get a simple data entry job, like remote async data entry job, and I was going to use this to automate that job as much as possible, and then just sit back and make the money while my AI programs handles that business. So data entry mode, it hides my AI skills. If I was trying to get like an AI related job, it will showcase those. So this is the interview mode. So it has a live transcript of everything that's being spoken. It is programmed to listen for questions. So if you're on an interview, you're getting asked questions, you might have challenging statements from the interviewer, blah blah blah. It'll detect all that stuff here, and it will feed you lines to say. And now it's not random. I have a RAG database with all of my old jobs, experiences. I actually spent a few days with Claude Code interviewing myself and just feeding it as much information as I can. So it has everything that it needs to know about me there. Essentially what this is like having 9 different AI working in like an FBI van sitting outside that interview office. And 2 of those agents are Chris Voss and Oren Klaff. If you know them, you know them. If you don't, Google them. And anytime it hears a question, within 3 to 5 seconds, it has taken my RAG database plus the dossier that I built about the company that I'm interviewing with, and it just spits out gold. And you can go in here and build a dossier, and I'll just show that to you real quick. I've already got some stuff in there. So we're going to do Acme data entry, blah blah blah. Let me see if we can find Indeed.com. Bear with me here real quick. Data entry. Let's look for a data entry job real quick here. Remote. Temporary data entry specialist. Perfect. Sounds great. So I'm going to go here, copy and paste the job description. Right. Company website. Do they have a website? Where's their website? Coniag Government Services. I hate that name. Anyway, so that's fine. We'll do this. Interview date. We'll say that the interview is tomorrow. The interviewer's name is John Smithster. Any notes or anything relevant you found. We'll do this. Alright, just copy and paste some stuff. So then go ahead and start your briefing. So it's going to analyze the job posting. The AI will extract key skills, requirements, talking points from the job posting you provided. So let's go ahead and analyze the job posting here. Again, just to toot my own horn for a little bit, there's no AI out there in the world that does what mine does. And if there is, show it to me. And then I'll build it even better, and then you just have to try to keep up with the Joneses. So here you go, required skills, key phrases to echo, their pain points, right? So then we're going to go ahead and research. Now I can have it research recent news, Glassdoor reviews, interview questions, interviewer profiles. So I don't have the interviewer profile, but if I did have their LinkedIn account, it will go find them on LinkedIn, and it will scrape LinkedIn to find the information about that person specifically. So let's say they're on their LinkedIn talking about their dog or their cousin or their uncles or their family or whatever it is, the boat they just bought. It will give me information to then go back and use to kind of, ease my way in there. But we'll look at like recent news, Glassdoor reviews, interview questions. So go ahead and run selected research. Give it a second. So this is the really cool part. So review. So Glassdoor, it apparently found something. Now I can approve it or reject it, but we're going to approve it. We'll approve that. We'll approve that too. Continue to generate. Alright, so AI will generate interview content based on your verified intel. I have a tiny little dot on the center of my screen for when I need a break and I play a little video game or a shooting game, like a crosshair. Anyway, so it's going to do this, generate the content. Generating tailored content. So here we go. Y company. I'm excited about the opportunity to join Acme Data Center as an entry-level data entry specialist. Your commitment, blah, 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 right? And now you can see I goofed up here because I didn't set it to stealth mode because it wouldn't have showcased any of the AI stuff. It's on flex mode, so it will. But anyway, you can go in here and approve this. Why the company? Questions to ask, because they always at the end of the interview they go, "You have any questions for me?" Yes. Right? Blah, blah, blah. Questions to ask, questions to ask, questions to ask. So you can go in here and approve a couple of these, and then it's going to put that in there, finalize and activate. So your dossier is now complete. All approved intel will be used to generate tailored responses during your interview. Bada bing, bada boom. So then when the interview starts, I just have this on in the background or have it on another screen, and it's going to spit out everything I need to say, essentially, during that interview. And as you can see here, there's
Quick learning moment. Did you know that honey never spoils? Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible. This is because honey has natural preservatives like low water content and high acidity levels that prevent bacterial growth. So if you ever need a long-lasting food source, reach for the honey jar.
Alright, perfect. So that was kind of random, but every so often Sero does just pop in my ear and tell me useful facts. That was a pretty unuseful fact, and I just said his name, so now he's awake, which is fine. So we can go ahead and say, hello, Sero. What's up, buddy? How's it going? How you doing today?
Let me find that information.
I gotta
Hello.
find.
How can I help?
Oh, I was just asking you how you doing. How are you today?
Hi there.
Hi. How are you doing today,
I'm
Sero?
feeling great today.
Perfect.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro. Absolutely. Glad to hear it.
How can I assist you further?
Just take a nap. Go to sleep for a little bit, if you will. Perfect. So then we'll put him back to just go night-night.
Working on that.
You're working on sleeping? Right.
Sorry, I can't help with that task right now.
I know. Because you can't sleep.
Let's try something else.
We will, but not right now. But yeah, but before, and then as you heard, there was two different voices there for a second. There's a little bug that I have to fix, so that doesn't happen. But it's totally okay. And then, yeah, I mean that's it so far. I mean, I'm not going to go too crazy because this is a 26-minute video, and I gotta go to sleep and wake up in 4.5 hours. But
based on my screen capture, I see that there were indeed two distinct voices in the recording.
That's right. That's right. You are 100% correct. And then we will fix that, but not tonight. And then you also have, this version where I can go in here and
Working on that.
Change the voice, stuff like that. So that's kind of cool.
I'm glad you understand.
Yeah, of course I understand, bro. I understand.
_call save_memory.
Okay. And then I also have to work on that memory because it does save some random stuff to the memory that makes absolutely no sense. But like I said, it's a work in progress. I don't know how to read or write code, but I sure do know how to build stuff. Anyway, that is Sero in a nutshell.